The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of The Right Side with Doug Billings. I'm sitting here having just finished a conversation with my friend, General Michael Flynn. I'm going to make it a standalone show, a special edition today for you. We're sending it off to the producers right now as I speak. We will talk about honesty, about truth, about multitasking to save this republic, getting involved at the local level, not becoming paralyzed by mantras that would endeavor to freeze us in time. Fix 2020 or bust. Does that sound familiar? Look, nobody denies that we have to fix 2020. We will fix 2020. We have to. But we can't only focus on 2020. We have to focus on multiple fronts in this battle to save America. 2022. We must fully engage in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, at the local level. This is the way that we win. And we have to be able to plan for 2024 so we can do this. The good news is we're conservatives. You see, we're by nature intellectually mature and capable of focusing on several different things at the same time to achieve victory. General Flynn will also give us assessment on the Mar-a-Lago raid and its implications in the overreach of the federal government. Again, how do we overcome that? What we have to be on guard against, the IRS, and the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice in general, how they are out of control, the chaos in America. And then the good news that millions of people are waking up to the chaos. People that are on the other side, people that voted for Administrator Biden, coming over to the right side by the millions upon millions. How we should not support the national GOP party, but instead find and seek out America First candidates. This is the pathway forward. You must get up, engage in determined prayer and determined patriotism. That's the hard work of it all. Determined prayer will be how this nation is not only refounded again in the spirit of God and the divine providence that he inspired in the writing of our founding documents, but it will also be our own personal rebirth to the belief in this nation as given to us from God. So, ladies and gentlemen, the right side with Doug Billings is now upon you. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hey, everybody. My name is General Mike Flynn, and I'm here to do a big shout out for my great friend and one of the best in the business, Mr. Doug Billings. Right side with Doug Billings, right side with Doug Billings. Doug is the future of the airwaves when it comes to independent broadcasters and podcasters. He is the new Rush Limbaugh. He's exactly what America needs right now, looking for honesty, looking for wisdom, looking for truth, looking for patriotism. Listen to Doug Billings at Right Side with Doug Billings. God bless you and God bless America, and thank you.
We are not liberal snowflakes who melt away in the face of tragedy, adversity, and challenge. We are a covenant nation under God, and his divine providence is not dead and it's not gone. It is living within each and every one of you. And you will bring it to life in such a way that the world has never seen before. We never back down. We never give up. We march forward.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Thanks indeed for watching us from around the planet, especially in the United States. I'm coming to you from smack dab in the middle of the fruited plain. Today, my friend, General Michael Flynn on the program. We're going to get right to it, uninterrupted, no commercial breaks. General, my gosh, we've got to talk about the raid and what it means with regards to accountability, the overreach of government, the power, the way that the Biden administration has weaponized the FBI, Christopher Wray. My gosh, where do we begin, my friend?
Yeah, I would say let's start with the overreaching federal government and the weaponization of damn near every single aspect of the powers of our federal government that they have and they have applied against we the people, right? And also people have to understand, the American people, your audience, all of us have to understand that we live by the decree of consent of the governed. Consent of the governed. And I think that is really important. We need to remind ourselves that we are not governed by a dictator or a monarch. We are governed by we the people, but we do it through a form of government called a constitutional republic. And what has happened is the weaponization. Let's just use that word, and the weaponization of intelligence, the weaponization of the health industry against the American citizens. And we've lived it through all of the COVID madness and what we've now learned about the frankly, the murderous application of this emergency authorized use of these shots, where we now see. I mean, I read a thing yesterday. A friend of mine sent me a thing yesterday. 44% of pregnancies, or women who were pregnant, have experienced some type of really disastrous outcome. It's just my heart is broken because of that. The weaponization of our rule of law systems, right? The Department of Justice, the FBI, and other federal entities. And what we are about to see is the weaponization, not only of just when we use the word accountability, right? We're about to see the weaponization of everything that we have always sort of felt, whoa about, is the IRS. Okay, yeah. The 87,000, and people are now seeing on social media some of the training that's going on for these new, because of these IRS agents going to be asked to be armed. They're going to be coming into our homes. They're going to be coming into our places of work. They're going to be coming into our places of worship. In some cases, they're going to shut down some of these places of worship. They're going to come after, as we've seen our government, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the intelligence community go after the Trump family, the Trump administration for years, come after me. We're now going to see this government overreach by using the IRS to start coming after really conservatives. They're going to come after conservatives. Hey, let's not kid ourselves. They're not going after, the liberal left-wing, nonprofits, for-profits, small businesses, whatever. They're not going after them.
Yeah, Google won't be rated.
Yeah, Google, Hunter Biden's, laptop won't be rated. So, I mean, so let's take Mar-a-Lago as a specific example of this continuation, and it's like a form of punishment, Doug. And that punishment has been put on top of the American people, and this government, this administration, and frankly, the justice system, because it was really also under Donald Trump when he was the president, particularly out of the Assistant Attorney General's office of Washington, D.C. I mean, they just punished the American people. And that's what they don't understand. This assault, this raid on Mar-a-Lago, for the listeners out there, this is not something that they, all the complaining that we might want to do, they don't care about the complaining. They're not going to look at this and go, oh, the American people are upset. You think Christopher Wray or Merrick Garland, the Attorney General and the FBI director, do you think that they're going to suddenly go, wake up this weekend and go, oh, you know what, we messed up, please forgive us? No. I actually think that we are going to see some redacted, really heavily redacted affidavits. So it's just the tactics of Mar-a-Lago and the continuation of this story. I think we're going to see a heavily redacted affidavit if we see one at all, but I think we'll see one, and it'll be heavily redacted. I actually think that there is going to be an attempt, and probably will happen, and I'm speculating that we're going to see a move to an indictment of President Donald J. Trump, and I actually think that they're going to try something even and a move. When we talk about indictment, it's to indict somebody, to take them to court, right? To try them and try to convict them, and in this case, President Donald J. Trump, of some crime. And even from the warrant itself that we all have seen, it's very, very difficult. The broad nature of it. I mean, I lived through this. And I know that they put in front of you, and they probably put in front of this grand jury that they do have, maybe grand juries that they do have. My guess is they definitely have one in Washington, D.C., and they likely have one right down here in Florida. Probably they have one. They probably have it down in the Miami Beach, Palm Beach area. A grand jury, probably sequestered, probably secret. So I'm saying that out of experience and out of what I believe is happening in terms of the dynamics. And they put these newspaper articles, they put a New York Times article in front of the grand jury. in front of witnesses. They put a Washington Post, they put a Wall Street Journal. I mean, they put these a Politico, a Daily Beast, all of the left-wing rags. Mother Jones was one of the newspapers, but most people don't even know that name. That was one of the newspapers back leading into the Russian investigation. Okay. So they put these things in front of a grand jury. They put these things in front of witnesses, and they say, could this be true? Yes, it could be true. And then the prosecutors sit there and they write up the perfect legalese to put it into a warrant. And then they take it over to a magistrate, not an Article 3 federal judge. Okay. Which is a technical term, but it means a lot. Not only a magistrate, but a magistrate who had to recuse themselves of, from a previous President Trump case where he was up against Hillary Clinton, somebody who we now know, he was a lawyer. He actually left being a prosecutor because he was asked by Epstein to be his lawyer. So he actually left the Department of Justice, the way I understand it, and went to fight for a known pedophile at the time. So, I mean, come on. All of these things matter, Doug. All of these things matter because this is the continued weaponization and the overreach of the United States federal government into our lives. And it's the intelligence system, it's the justice system, the rule of law system. It is the accountability system in the Internal Revenue Service. All of these things are going to continue to be just this stick that we the people, and consent of the government, we're going to continue to be beat over the head and shoulders for if we don't arise, if we don't stand up, step up, speak up, and get involved. And as you've heard me say, and it is about voting. We're in the primary season. We've had a lot of primaries. We just saw Lynn Cheney lose by historic numbers. First time in this century, the largest loss by an incumbent in this century, because people in Wyoming said, Lynn or Liz, we're tired of it. We're tired of the nonsense. We're tired of the BS. Don't tell us what you believe. You tell us what you believe in. Okay. Don't tell us what you believe about Donald Trump. You tell us what you believe in and what you're willing to do. We're not looking for sycophants out there. I'm not looking for people who are rear end kissers. I'm looking for people who are going to stand for America First principles, who are going to stand up for our constitutional principles, and who are not going to lie and not allow those on the left. And those on the left are not, it's not the Democratic Party anymore. And I keep reminding people about my own upbringing. I mean, I was a lifelong Democrat. I ran alongside President Trump, and I would do it today, but I ran alongside President Trump in 2016 as a Democrat. I was one of the final four candidates being considered to be vice president of the United States of America. And at the time, I was a Democrat. And so, I recently, registered again when I moved here to Florida, and I am now a registered Republican. I'm proud of it. But I look at things in a vastly different way. And I think it is because of my service in uniform. I look at, and because I have faced corruption, and I have fought communism, and I have fought other radical ideologies overseas. And I know what they represent, and I know what they want to do to us here in America.
They and you hit upon, I do think that this is a nightmare. I agree with you. I've said time and time again on this show, there is no more Democratic Party, especially in the elected class. They have blended communism and socialism. You know me, General. I call it commu-socialism.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that phrase.
I just got this book.
And it's not a joke. I mean, that's not a kidding phrase. We're not just saying that.
No, we're not.
I don't repeat it. It's a very real thing.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a great.
This book, Socialism Under the Microscope. I've just picked this thing up, and in it outlines everything that we're experiencing on the left today, the Communist Socialist Party in America, the deconstruction of the fabric of the society, the elimination of God, the elimination of rights, the confiscation, the attempt to confiscate guns, the defunding of police, purposeful chaos. None of this, General, I mean, come on. None of this is on accident. The border, logistics, energy, the debacle that we saw in Afghanistan, and everything else in between, this is on purpose.
Nothing in government, particularly at the highest levels of government, when there are going to be big decisions made, people just don't go out there, some low level, and I didn't even say low level. I'm talking about somebody in a National Security Council or somebody over in a department or an agency. When somebody goes out there and starts to speak, and it sounds like they're speaking on behalf of the government, that is not coincidental. Nothing is coincidental, especially at the highest levels of our government. So the surrender and the retreat from Afghanistan, which is we're at the year anniversary here, right?
Yeah, right.
Where tragically 13 lives were lost, and we should never forget those lives that were those are young men and young women who sacrificed their lives for our country. We should never forget them. And there are many others, not only in Afghanistan, Iraq, but throughout the history of the United States. But there is nothing coincidental. I mean, one of the crazy things that's going on, we are spending $50 billion, and we keep saying this over in Ukraine, and we've already seen evidence that money is being corrupted and being abused and being stolen, and God knows where the weapon systems are being bought and used around other parts of the world, like probably against us. Yet we refuse to even acknowledge, this federal government doesn't even want to acknowledge the border invasion that's going on,
right,
and the vast amounts of narcotics, illegal narcotics, fentanyl specifically, and crime that is just destroying the fabric of America across all 50 states. I mean, that's intentional. This is intentional, and it is by design by the people in government, particularly by the one party. But I do want to talk about the other party for a minute here. The Rhino Party, right? The Republican Party. We're starting to see, and we hear some of these things about, we hear out of Mitch McConnell, right? We're not gonna, we may not win the Senate. We may only take a couple of seats in the House. The House may not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the leader of the United States Senate for the Republican Party.
Right.
And we also heard the Republican National Committee Chair, Ronna McDaniel, also, I think it was an article or on one of the Sunday talk shows, probably 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now, also talking about, we may only win 4 seats in the House.
Yeah.
I mean,
those
people should dry up and go away. They should dry up and go away. And the American people should stop supporting them. Stop supporting these people. Go find those people that are confident in winning and have this desire and this confidence and this ability to get out there and fight and win. We need fighters. We need fighters in our political class. We need people that are not kissing the rear ends or kissing the rings of this rhino establishment class. And Liz Cheney is a perfect example of that. And that is a reminder to the establishment and the rhino class. Okay, and this is everybody out there. So that if you continue to pretend like you're going to be you're in this Republican establishment rhino class, you're going to pretend like you're in there fighting. No, if you're not actually fighting, if you're not standing up for America first is a governing philosophy. It is not a bumper sticker that Donald Trump created. Donald Trump created the bumper sticker, "Make America Great Again." And in order to make America great again, we have to have a governing philosophy that places the United States of America first and foremost, head and shoulders above all the rest. And I'm talking about the rest of this world. The threats that we face from a national security perspective, internationally and domestically, are severe. We are a nation in a very, very perilous position right now. We stand at the precipice of history where we could actually go over into the abyss. And as you've heard me talk about, Doug, we are actually, parts of our country are in the abyss. I mean, clearly places along the border where it's just so out of control. Places inside of the country where and I think I read where Ohio, which is an internal state within the United States of America, Ohio now has the highest rate of fentanyl deaths in the country. That is a place where I call that is an abyss. That is such a deep, dark place that we don't want to be in. And I don't want the people of Ohio to those people in Ohio that listen to this broadcast, I want you to rise up out of that abyss, and you got to get in there and fight. People in Pennsylvania, the people in places like Tennessee, those are internal states that have extraordinary problems. If we don't want the demise of the United States of America to occur here, and it feels like it's occurring rapidly, we've got to eliminate this idea of these globalist elites, these oligarchs. We have oligarchs in this country. We talk about Russia having oligarchs, and as though that's the only place that they exist. No, oligarchs exist in this country. The elites that exist in the World Economic Forum. The idea that George Soros can dictate to us, to tell American people that Donald Trump is dangerous. Hey, we the people, look at the numbers of people that are still coming out for rallies. These are not these are Americans who care deeply about this country, and I know that they come from all walks of life. So,
every stop on the Clay Clark, General Flynn, Reawaken America tour, they have all been packed. I hearken back to our stop in Oregon, and then the last one just last weekend we were in New York, and two states that are run, led, and managed by the Communist Socialist Party, right there. And the people that came out are hungry for what we offer, and that these tours are all about motivation, education, inspiration, so we can go back and do what you've told us to do, to get involved at the local level and make a difference. And despite the nightmare, despite all of these topics that we've talked about here, General, I still believe, we can look at this primary season as example. In the era of stolen presidential American elections, we can still win, and they're still going to try to cheat. The other side will, of course, but we can still win. We are rising up. We're getting involved. And another glimmer of hope, I think, is that millions and millions of people on the other side, the Democrats, I'm talking about John and Jane Doe on the streets of Main Street America, they're waking up and they're thinking, this is not what I signed up for. And they're coming over to our side. And so despite the nightmare, I maybe I'm just an internal optimist, but I do think that we're waking up and the impact is obvious. We can't give up. It's a dangerous time, but I think we're on the cusp of something incredible with regards to the wake up that we're experiencing.
Yeah, and I will just finish with this, because I'm in the process. Early this morning, I get up because I couldn't sleep, and I started thinking about what has happened. So I started to write. I hope an op-ed here that I put out over this weekend, because we're still in the height of our primary season. I get the cry that I hear, and I wrote this. The cry that I hear more and more often these days is, what can I do to help? Right? What can I do to help? And as you've heard me say, the local action equals the national impact.
Yeah.
So what can you do? What can you do to help? You can help by, and these are simple things. But you got to decide to do it. You can help by cleaning up voter registration rolls, supporting local canvassing efforts, joining in to help a political campaign whose ideas you support. I support America First ideas, and the direction that America doing what is best for this country first, and then we can take care of the rest of the problems around the world that need to be taken care of, right? Joining in to help a political campaign, right? Volunteering for the hundreds of positions that still remain unfilled. And frankly, the RNC, the Republican, the GOP in various states, they're not in there recruiting and working their tails off, and they're not spending the money, to get volunteers to get out there and help. And that's what I know that I'm part of an organization that gets in there and just does the training, does the recruiting, and just says, hey, volunteer to get involved. And I will tell you, we are touching a lot of registered Democrats who are saying, I'm afraid what's happening to our country. And we're saying, well, then volunteer. Here's what you can do. Go observe, be a poll observer. Speak to people at your church or other local community organizations. Don't be afraid. In fact, be fearless. Be fearless about what is happening to our country. Don't be that wallflower in there that I don't want to say nothing. Somebody will yell at me. Hey, we have community leaders that are afraid to speak up because they're afraid they're going to get attacked. Right. Get rid of them. Get rid of those community leaders. They're not leaders. Leaders is a strong word. Leadership is a strong word. I want positive leaders. So those are just I say stand up, step up, and speak up. But those are just a couple of ideas. There's plenty of them. There's a long list.
General, I agree. And I think, if I may, I think what you've described is what we talk about on this show. It's determined patriotism. It's the hard work of it all. It's getting involved. It's coming home from a long day of work and going to a 3-hour school board meeting to stand up to woke superintendents and firing them when you get the chance, when they come up for election. And, there's victories out there. 14 states have outlawed critical race theory. So there are victories, but it's determined. We meet in determined prayer. We meet in determined patriotism. It's the hard work. And I think, you have the Save Freedom in America Foundation, where you help vet and fund grassroots organizations across this country. Yep.
Exactly. And they can go to the fundfreely.com website. And I know you've been very helpful with that.
Thank you. Fundfreely.com/Doug, if you don't mind.
There you go. Fundfreely.com/Doug. And that money right now is involved in all kinds of lawfare cases. It is involved in healthcare. It is involved in election integrity. It is involved in education. It is involved in voter registration. It is involved in training. I mean, we have 7 categories. When you look at the fundfreely.com /Doug, take a look at that and decide which direction you want to go. Every single bit of that money is going back into, we're pouring it back into this country to help really save America. And you'll see people will see a video of me there. I want to just finish, Doug, with this. Determined prayer, because you and I have had a lot of conversations about this, a lot of intimate conversations about this. And I know that, you have your own very interesting background. And I've asked you to, I think more and more people need to understand where you come from and why you're doing what you're doing. But determined prayer will place us where we need to be. And that's so important to understand, because prayer is the most powerful weapon system known to man. So I really do thank you for your friendship, but I also thank you for what you represent to our country, because determined patriotism and determined prayer are very, very powerful monikers that we can reflect on as Americans in this beautiful, beautiful country called the United States of America. So thank you.
General, thank you. I appreciate your friendship. These past 2 years, it's just been incredible. The conversations that we've had both on the show and off in private conversation, the things that you have said about me and that you've done for me. Thank you. You're one of the refounders of America. You're one of the true patriots. I'm honored to know you. I'm still holding on to our bottle of wine back here. It's in every show. I look forward to having that with you one day. And I think, you give us hope, and you set it straight. You set the table as it is. We're in a difficult time. There's no doubt about it. And we together with determined prayer, determined patriotism, and the folks on this show know my background. I'll have to start talking more about what led me here through the seminary and the study for priesthood and so forth. I'll have to do that one of these days.
I love that. No, it's a fascinating. Our destiny is determined by which path we choose to walk upon, and frankly, going forward, it's really it's even more important. But I think that all of us are on a path in our relationship, and I'll just talk, somewhat to your audience about our relationship. And I think there are many, many relationships that have been formed and bonded in these last couple of years, because patriots are finding themselves, on the battlefield of truth, and we need to be unapologetic about it. And that's really what the whole the Reawaken America tour is really all about, being unapologetic about who we are as Americans.
You bet. Listen, General, I know you got to go. You're going to be traveling here pretty soon. I appreciate your time this morning. So does the audience. Safe travels, and I'll see you soon.
God bless.
God bless you, General. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with me. I'll be back with some more thoughts right after this. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Everybody, welcome to the set of The Right Side with Doug Billings, where I am now less, and less is more. Since August 1st, I'm down 62 pounds, and now here we are well after Christmas, and I want to share this with you. I feel called to share it with you. I think that we all need to be the best version of ourselves if we're going to engage in the fight to save this republic from the grips of communism. And so I want to talk to you today about the right side of health. Send your name and ask for information about how I lost 62 pounds since August. Text your name to 913-428-0777. 713-428-0777. Or if you'd like, go to www.rightsidehealth.us, rightsidehealth.us. Both will get you to the place you need to be. Look at these before and after pictures that have been up there. Unbelievable. I had to get there before I got here. And so if you're faced with that kind of before situation, there is an after, and it's right there at the right side of health. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Cheers. Holy Hydrogen, everybody. Holyhydrogen.com, promo code Doug, $100 off. Why? Molecular hydrogen, hydrogen gas infused water from a machine no larger than an average coffee maker, right there on your countertop in your kitchen. I use it. It helps. Diabetes, it helps. Cancer cells even been shown to be reduced by hydrogen gas. It also helps with brain fog. You have inflammation. It helps reduce the inflammation in your body. Weight loss is enhanced and expedited. Just a number of things that even has been shown in some cases to help recover from the side effects of the jab. Molecular hydrogen, hydrogen gas infused water from Holy Hydrogen. They have a customer service department. They have a payment plan. Holyhydrogen.com, promo code Doug for $100 off, ladies and gentlemen. Get the benefits of molecular hydrogen today. Cheers. Hi, everybody. Doug Billings here on the set of my show, The Right Side. I am standing shoulder to shoulder with Mike Lindell and his employees over at mypillow.com. Use the promo code Billings when you go over there to mypillow.com. Everything that you need. You already know about the sheets, the pillows, obviously the pillows, the slippers, the best slippers in the world, ladies and gentlemen. They even have dog beds and pet beds over there. I've got 2 of them for my service dog, Jet. Absolutely, I do. MyPillow.com. Stand shoulder to shoulder with me and Mike Lindell as we support his employees as he endeavors to become one of the refounders, if you will, one of the refounding fathers of our republic. It's the least we can do. MyPillow.com, promo code Billings. Please, ladies and gentlemen, mypillow.com, promo code Billings. Believe it, for the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Well, there he was, ladies and gentlemen, my friend General Michael Flynn on the program today, uninterrupted and not scripted. I mean, the honest assessment of the hope that is in the country, also an honest assessment of the nightmare that we're in. There's no doubt this is a serious time in our history. We, the people, rising up to stand against the tyranny of the Communist Socialist Party. He agrees. There is no more Democratic Party in the elected class. The Communist Socialist movement in America is a real one. And we are now charged with standing up to fight that trend and to overcome it. Now, look, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of this overnight, but we need to begin at the local level, ladies and gentlemen. That is the plan. It has been that way all the time and ever since this catastrophe was thrust upon us. In the era of stolen American presidential elections, we can still win if we focus on the entire front of this war. There are multiple fronts. 2020 needs to be fixed. There's no doubt about that, but we can't be paralyzed by that. We have to not only do that, but we have to multitask and focus to fully engage in 2022. And by the way, we have to plan right now for 2024. So let's do that. Let's agree that in order to succeed in this country, we put the myths behind us. We move forward in reality. And the reality is this: nothing will save us except us. We, the people in our involvement, which is exactly what the founding documents call for. Us. We are the leaders, the managers, the stewards of this republic. And we can do this. There is good news all around us. There are victories that are being achieved every day. Please try to avoid the tendency to default to the negative and rise up and join General Flynn and myself and others as we engage to fix 2020, but to also fully engage in 2022 and plan for 2024. Get involved, please, at the local level. If you like the idea that we talked about in the interview with General Flynn, the fundfreely.com/Doug, where you can donate to Save Freedom in America, a group that vets and donates money to grassroots local organizations that are making differences for the better in this country. Volunteer, become an election observer, a poll watcher. Committee men and women are vastly needed. To General Flynn's point, we have to set straight and right and correct voter registration rules. There's all sorts of ways that we can get involved in determined patriotism. And don't forget, determined prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand with you. I know that you stand with General Flynn in America and this republic. We're in this together, my friends. Believe it. For the republic. God bless you. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. I'm Doug Billings. Hey, if you're looking for a web application, custom web development for your business, the Blaze team, ladies and gentlemen, the Blaze team can do it. They've got a team of highly skilled engineers, graphic designers, graphic artists, developers. They can tackle any project, no matter how big, no matter how small. They specialize in new websites, custom web applications. They can handle Android or iOS applications. Whatever your development needs are, the Blaze team has the skill to produce them. Absolutely so. The Blaze team also heavily involved into blockchain development, such as smart contracts, and they work with machine learning applications, big data, business intelligence systems. They can help you. If there's a web development platform that interests you, chances are that the Blaze team has skills in creating it. When you choose the Blaze team, you get the entire package, my friends, from creation to setup to the all-important hosting on servers that can't be touched. They won't be able to shut you down. The Blaze team, you want to reach them? Head over to www.blaze.team, www.blaze.team. Now, over there, they'll have a form that asks the question, how did you hear about us? Please type in Doug or The Right Side. One of those two things. That's how you heard about them. And you're going to be happy that you heard about them. From Doug Billings right here on The Right Side, www.blaze.team. Or if you want to email them, their email address is reach@blaze.team. Reach@blaze.team for an email. Same thing. Hey, I heard about you on The Right Side. I heard about you from Doug Billings. You'll get discounts and perks galore. The Blaze team, they're in it for you. They've got your backs just like I do. Believe it. For the Republic. Cheers. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard of electromagnetic pulse, EMP for short? I've got a device here that I'm going to hook up to my car. I've got one that looks similar to it that I'm going to hook up to my breaker box in my house. EMP Shield, EMPshield.com. Go there and use promo code Doug. EMP pulse magnetic energy can come from the sun. It can happen in nature, but it also can happen from foreign nations who don't necessarily take too kindly to us. It can happen in nuclear blasts, things like that you've heard and seen in the movies. Now, I'm not saying a nuclear blast is going to happen, but this device, the EMP Shield, simple to install. Listen, if I can do it, and I'm no Einstein, you can do it. Hook it up to your car battery, hook it up to your breaker box in your home or your apartment, wherever. Make sure that you're protected in case of an electromagnetic pulse outbreak in this country or around the world. It will protect you. You want to be able to go from point A to point B. Get one today. EMPshield.com, promo code Doug. Cheers. Holy Hydrogen, everybody. Holyhydrogen.com, promo code Doug, $100 off. Why? Molecular hydrogen, hydrogen gas infused water from a machine no larger than an average coffee maker, right there on your countertop in your kitchen. I use it. It helps. Diabetes, it helps. Cancer cells even been shown to be reduced by hydrogen gas. It also helps with brain fog. You have inflammation. It helps reduce the inflammation in your body. Weight loss is enhanced and expedited. Just a number of things that even has been shown in some cases to help recover from the side effects of the jab. Molecular hydrogen, hydrogen gas infused water from Holy Hydrogen. They have a customer service department. They have a payment plan. Holyhydrogen.com, promo code Doug for $100 off, ladies and gentlemen. Get the benefits of molecular hydrogen today. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.